Come join me on my daily morning walk. It's a beautiful October morning. The pumpkins are out. The air is crisp. The leaves are changing color and they're actually falling to the ground. This is going to be my chore for the day. I gotta rake them up. We're going to do a little 15-minute loop around my forest. We're going to start off with a little climb up a small hill. The view is beautiful this time of the year with all the colors. And what I love, especially in October, there are no mosquitoes. I get absolutely destroyed in the summer. This is where Kathleen and I trained for our Spartan race. It's actually a really dense forest that we have yet to explore completely. That's gonna take a few hours, but from our path, there are 3 different trails that give us 3 different levels of elevation. So really easy, medium, and of course, really steep. Not so bad when you walk it, but really challenging when you run it. And for our training, we ran it over and over again. Today we're just going to start off by walking up the medium-sized hill, and who knows how I feel. Maybe we'll run on the straight path and maybe do a little jog up the steep hill. We'll see how I feel later. I'm so happy with how my cardio has improved in the last few months. It's been a goal of mine for the longest time to really improve that aspect of fitness. When I first got into fitness in my teens and even in my 20s, the main goal was to build strength and muscle. Which is great. It's an amazing goal to have. Being strong in life is very important. But having good cardiovascular health is vital. All that muscle is great, but are you able to climb up flights of stairs when the elevator is not working? Can you join a community run for charity without being completely gassed? Those things are really important to me to be extremely healthy in all aspects of fitness, which is strength, mobility, flexibility, and of course, cardio. I believe I shared the same goals as Kathleen, so we both decided to sign up to a race every season. So in the spring, we did a nice 10K run. Then in the summer, we did a 10K Spartan run, which is pretty much an obstacle course at a 10K distance on a ski hill. That was challenging until we signed up to our first half marathon. The preparation that went into that were 13 weeks of pretty much running every day to every other day. We're novices, maybe not beginners when it comes to running, but we are far from being great at it. We wanted to do it properly, so we ensured that we were healthy enough to do it. The last thing we wanted to do is go into something that would damage our knees, let's say. So we made the decision to do a really gentle training plan, and we decided not to worry about time and just to finish it. And so we did, and it was just a great accomplishment. It felt good to tick that off our bucket list. I have plans on doing a full marathon, maybe not next year, but definitely before I hit 40 in a couple years. All to say that I'm still improving season by season, and that's the goal. It's easy to become complacent in life, and it's totally okay to be happy in life, to be comfortable, but too much comfort is also not so great. No, you don't have to run a marathon, but you definitely need to keep that body moving. Our bodies are designed to move. It's meant to move. It wants you to move. All that physical and even mental pain that you're feeling, those are little warning signals that your brain is sending to you. Listen to them, pay attention to them, take them seriously, and make those necessary adjustments. And those necessary adjustments might cause you discomfort at first, but they are necessary. And that's typically how the journey starts, right? You're not happy about something, so you decide to make a change, you make this commitment, and then you embark on this long journey, which hopefully you'll stay consistent in. And that's the hardest part. How does one remain consistent? Well, you have to look beyond your goal. My goal this year was to run a half marathon. And to get to the half marathon, well, I had to run the 10K, and I also wanted to run the Spartan. I did a lot of training, improved my cardio, and bam, accomplished my goal. But the journey doesn't end there. I also have a why. Why am I doing this in the first place? Quickly said, one of my whys is to be healthy and strong for everyday life so that I can continue to enjoy this life with an amazing quality of life, not just longevity. I want to be able to enjoy, yes, the big things, but also the little things like today on this daily walk. and I want that for as long as possible. And that goes beyond the goal, and that's why I'm still exercising weeks after I cross the finish line. That's why I'm going to continue exercising and moving. And the why is so powerful and so important to me that I keep close to my heart even when I don't accomplish my goals. And there have been many times in my life where I didn't accomplish a goal, where I got a little injury, or I just couldn't finish a workout plan. I still continued moving forward, going towards my why. And I have many whys. I only named one, but I have so many that are so important to me. If you've been following me for a long time, you know I talk about it all the time. My grandmother is 100 years old, living her best life. She's watching her great-grandchildren grow, which leads me to my other why, my niece, nephew, my daughter, and all the younger generation who learn from us. A lot of the clients that I have today explain that when they were younger, they didn't have someone to look up to when it comes to health and wellness. And as an adult, it's just so hard to make that transition to eating nutritious foods and exercising. And I could totally understand that. So it's really important to be a leading example as an adult. I'm going to be a husband to Kathleen, and boy, do I want to be a strong and healthy one for as long as possible. My sister passed away at the age of 33, and the only thing she wanted was to live longer. I cannot take my life for granted. She would be mad at me if I just decided to let go and not care for my health. Did you know she ran a 5K during her chemotherapy treatments? Then she ran it annually for 5 years straight. Yeah, she did everything in her power to remain healthy and strong, and I do believe that's the reason why she was able to have an amazing quality of life despite her cancer for 9 years. For those who knew her, they were all surprised how she was able to be so strong and continue to do amazing things. We were actually working out a few weeks before she passed. We went to New York, went to a Broadway show, and she was very, very much her normal self. And I was reading this book called Outlive, and the author explains the difference between lifespan and health span. Lifespan is the length and the longevity that one lives, and health span is the actual quality of life, how strong you are and how capable you are in doing activities of daily living, how you navigate through your life with no pain and a lot of independence. That's what's important. Yes, everyone dies eventually. It might be when you're young, it might be when you're older. But how are you living that life? Is it your best life? Are you doing the things that you actually want to do? Or are the choices that you're making preventing you from accomplishing it? And that's the power that fitness, exercise, movement, eating nutritious foods could provide to you. It's not always about the length of time that you're going to be on this planet, although fitness can definitely provide that for you as well. But what matters the most is that quality of living. It reminds me of a Facebook comment that someone wrote on my post saying that exercising is so important to him because we're gonna die anyway and he'd rather just live his life. But there is a difference spending the final years of your life suffering, in pain, bedbound, taking tons of medication, wishing you were gone, versus spending it with family, friends, going out, doing the things that you love with the least amount of suffering and just transition in peace. I went on a little tangent there, but all to say that these are my whys, and this is the reason why I never want to take my health for granted. If you're still watching the screen, I decided to run here. That's why it's a little bumpy. Bear with me, I reached a nice flat area and I just wanted to speed it up a bit. I don't always do this. Sometimes I just take a nice slow walk, but today I felt good and I wanted to get a nice intense workout in. October is the beginning of sedentary season, well, at least in North America, in the Northern Hemisphere. It's the beginning of it when people start to move less. Maybe not the beginning of October, but getting into November and especially December during the holiday season, we start moving less and less and indulge more and more, and that's totally okay. It's normal. It's fine. Enjoy. But for a lot of people, it's also the time when we just stop and completely give up and wait until New Year's to resume. That's what creates the cycle of starting and stopping. That's when you might feel stagnant and frustrated at the fact that you're not really progressing. And that's why we got to conquer that little hump we call sedentary season and remain consistent, even if we're just doing a little bit. That's the theme of my monthly challenge this month of October. I hope you joined it. It's on the Justin Agustin Fitness app and of course justinagustin.com. And the workouts are designed to just keep you moving during this month in a gentle way. This is what allows me to remain consistent in life rather than completely stopping when things get extremely busy or when times get hard in life. And trust me, it happens for me too. I just stick with the basics. I focus on mobility, get a bit of movement, and some gentle strength. And that's how my app is. I just want you to press play and see where it takes you. You might play the whole video, you might work out all throughout the whole routine, or you might pause, you might let it play, but what matters the most is you decided to show up. And that's kind of how I approached today's workout, right? It was supposed to be a nice little gentle walk, enjoy the nice weather and the trees. But as I was going, I was getting a bit more energy, starting to feel motivated, inspired. So I decided to run the second half. Right now I'm going uphill. I'm running as fast as my body would let me. It might not look steep because of the camera angle, but oh my goodness, my legs were burning here. And that's the idea. Some days you might not feel like you want to do the workout. You might be low energy and totally not in the mood. But that's the trick. Just plan to do 5 minutes. And if you showed up and only did 5-10 minutes, that's totally fine. That's better than 0. What you're doing is you're still training consistency. You're signaling to your brain that, hey, no matter what, you're not going to miss the workout. So not showing up is never an option. Unless you're really sick, that's a good reason. But if it's just low motivation, you got to show up and do what you can. But what usually happens, which is so beautiful, is on those tough days when you just decide to show up for 5 minutes, typically you will do more. Somewhere along the way, you'll feel the energy, maybe even feel a bit more motivated. What I always tell you about motivation is that you should not chase it. You never know when it's gonna come, and when it comes, it goes away so fast. So don't worry about motivation. Focus on being consistent by being disciplined. And sometimes motivation comes after the fact. So rather than waiting for motivation, by getting in motion, it might appear. And that's an amazing feeling every single time. Okay, so I'm on my way back home now. It's not too far. That was a good workout, to be honest. I have this little camera on the top of my head. I don't know if you saw it at the beginning, but my hands are free, so I'm able to run freely. I completely forgot that I actually was recording this because it's so tiny. It's like the size of my thumb. I'm most likely going to post this on my social medias, but this is really going to go on my podcast. I've been slowly working at that. It's called The Voice of Justin Agustin, and it's content like this where I just talk about my experience and give you tips. I try to help inspire you to start your journey. So please subscribe to it on Spotify, Apple, Google. I'm working on being more consistent with it. It's still a learning curve for me, but it's a lot of fun. I'm hoping to have some guests soon, so if you have any ideas or suggestions, all welcome. Let me know what you want to hear or see. I'm excited to keep this going. And before we go, I want to remind you that I do have an app and website with full-length workouts. Every month I have a monthly challenge where you have different themed routines, all gentle, for beginners as well. You follow along with me. There's a timer on screen. I'm explaining and demonstrating the workouts, and it's a lot of fun. I cover everything from mobility to strength to cardio to more specific area like your hips, your knees. Again, all in a gentle way, all accessible. There's no floor workouts. Everything is done from a seated or standing position. I even have stuff from the bed. You can sign up today, anytime. You can jump into any monthly routine, whatever day it is. No problem, you can jump in. You just need to sign up at justinagustin.com. Once you're signed up, you can download the Justin Agustin Fitness app, and you can play the videos on your phone, your tablet, your smart TV, pretty much anywhere, anytime. That's what supports me. That's how I'm able to continue to produce these videos for you. Okay, I'm home now. Thank you so much for listening. Till next time.